Us poors on East Upper did not pay for the full haka experience. Saru made sure we knew that. No Rugby. Is it possible to be in an environment so stimulating that you get a hangover from it? Because I think that's what happened to me in Doornfontein on Saturday. This year, I've been to a full Loftus for the Bulls versus Glasgow. I've been to a full Loftus for the Boks versus Ireland. And I've been to a full Toyota Stadium for Portugal. They were good. They were amazing. I loved every second. But holy shit, there is nothing that compares to a full Ellis Park for the Boks versus the All Blacks. Wow. As was expected, Saturday in the CBD delivered another great contest between the two big boys of World Rugby. When they clash, the most basic and primal of rugby skills get tested to their limits. One of those basic skills being kick-off exits. Let's recap on some of the hosts' exits. On the very first one, Cheslin got stuck in the bottom of a ruck. At another, Ben Jason ran into France. Later, Damien passed to nobody. All of these mistakes kept the Boks pinned in their half and gave the All Blacks scoring opportunities, which they gladly took. By the 50th minute, when the Boks ran it out of their 22, only to knock it on and give the ball away, I was ready to burst a blood vessel. Like, what was the plan? Were you gonna run it 80 meters to score a try against the All Blacks? Was that the plan? It was no surprise that once Fussy and SFM started to kick it downfield a bit more, the tide started to turn. Finally. The All Blacks' issues started with the whistle. They gave up 14 penalties to the Boks 5. 5? Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, the ABs kept giving away penalties at the maul or for being overeager at the ruck, and the Boks gladly accepted those opportunities for position and points. With those points, the hosts were just able to stay in touch as the ABs were threatening to pull away. And when the time came, the Boks could release their secret weapon that everyone knows about. A bench just creaking under the massive reputations of Malcolm Marx, Andre Pollard and Kwagga freaking Smith. Being able to bring such class and experience onto the field where the final 20-minute fade for both teams is strong cannot be undervalued. The activity delta between the fresh Kwagga Smith and tired All Blacks cleaners resulted in incredible ruck bullshittery. If I were a coach, and thank goodness I'm not, I would try and match the Kwagga emergence with my own Duracell Bunny type player, because no one was able to stop him on Saturday. Smith and his other old-headed buddies set about chasing down the 10-point deficit, and when Williams scored the winner at 75 minutes, I jumped so much in my chair that I nearly passed out. I still don't think I've recovered. You can hear from my voice. 31 points to 27, the final score in another classic at Ellis Park. And my first time seeing the Boks beat the All Blacks live since 2014.
Matchup between Argentina and the Wallabies from La Plata.
The other game, Los Pumas versus the Wallabies. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry. It was on at midnight after a day at Ellis Park. Middle-aged me was not going to be able to stay awake. The parts I have seen were all soaking wet, which meant neither team could get real freaky with their attacks. The Wallabies stuck very much to playing off 9 to one-off runners. It kept the handing errors low and they were getting some meters at the gain line through Valentini, Frost and Wilson. But the tries were still hard to come by even though they were putting massive amounts of phases together. Los Pumas' attack looked a little looser. They were also trying the one-off runners off 9, but those guys were getting smashed on the gain line. So with that not working, they just kept passing it around to anyone who would have it and hoping for a hole to open. With the Aussies being more successful in contact, they did eventually score 2 kind of lovely tries. An inside ball at the ruck set up Gordon for a nice score under the post, and an Ikitau break eventually got finished off by Valentini. Los Pumas scored most of their points through the boot and then 1 try off a maul because Australia don't know how to stop those things. It stayed tight right up until the end, and a late penalty to the Wallabies meant they could slot a walk-off goal to win by 20 points to 19. Yay them. That now means that every team in the championship has won at least one game, and only one team has won more than one game, and it's not the one you think. which gives me the heebie-jeebies and I want to throw up. And I do not get a break this coming weekend because we play the All Blacks again in Cape Town, a much friendlier land for them. The Wallabies, they go to Santa Fe, hoping to finally see a dry ball and some dry grass. We'll get to see if Los Pumas can snap their 2-game losing streak, but I don't know if you can fix a scrum just by making everything dry. And hopefully at the Boks and AB's game, the stadium DJ won't treat the haka like an Oscar speech that's gone on for too long. I am excited, as you can tell. It's the Boks' second last test in South Africa this year, and I'm going to savor every single second. It's the off season in the north, so news is a bit thin on the ground. Let's just see if there's anything to talk about. I guess the lack of a Bok team on a Tuesday is news. Let me just double check this guy hasn't announced anything. Nope, he hasn't. The Bok camp did mention that they will be waiting for a few injuries to clear before they announce on Thursday, like in the old days, the dark days. Really, we know this team already exists. You just don't want to give us content fodder. And now we'll have to keep talking about referee decisions and double banking and whether the haka deserves more or less respect. It is going to be bedlam, guys. We will eat each other without that team sheet. Just save us from ourselves. Is there any other news? Anything to distract me from this Cape Town test? The Pacific Nations Cup is going at the same time as the Rugby Championship. And it looks like Fiji are the team to beat, which makes sense because they are stacked with talent. It looks like maybe Japan or USA will be a probably distant second. But who knows, maybe Tonga will come through, I don't know. The NPC, in which Hawke's Bay are currently at the top of the log and unbeaten, ahead of also unbeaten Wellington Lions and the Tasman. For that tournament, I am an Auckland Blues guy, which feels right at home for the Lions supporter in me, because they are right near the bottom of the log without any wins. More things change, eh? The less they stay the same is how that goes, right? Because the Lions are at the top of the Currie Cup with only one match before the knockouts. And if I was super biased, I would be really obviously happy right now. But I'm not. In the old days, we had the saying that Currie Cup form does not guide your form in Super Rugby. But what if that shit is different in the Erk, eh? Is Erk 4's final destined to be at Ellis Park? Currie Cup form says yes. And now you can say yes if asked whether you've been updated on the rugby. So we'll end the episode there. I will see you next week so we can chat about whether it's disrespectful for a Red Bull skydiver to hit TJ Perenara in the middle of the haka performance. Let's discuss it then. Bye. I don't think it's disrespectful.
Is Red Bull all in FBI?